Is that Mauricio?
Yeah.
Would you be able to transition? Like if it's four blocks?
Yeah, I can do it. I don't want to do it because it's more fucking work.
I know.
Can I do it? Absolutely.
Here he is.
Yep.
Here he is.
He's connecting the audio.
Okay.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, you're muted, bro. He's not saying nothing.
Connect the audio. I don't know what's fucking.
We can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
You gotta use the he can't hear us. So.
Okay. All right. Let's start.
Does that count as a cold open?
That might be our cold open.
That's great.
That'd actually be a perfect transition. Then I can just go back to my 3-screener.
Yeah.
All right, count us down, son of a bitch.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Did you like teleport somewhere and you just came back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's like the Friends Open.
Oh, God.
I'll be there for you.
Well, welcome back to All Sorts of Sports, episode 15. Want to start off by saying happy birthday, Nipsey.
Happy birthday, Nip.
Well, yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Would have been 35.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I respect the shit out of Nip, and I also think he's a rapper. I have noticed just speaking. I skip a lot of his songs when I'm like shuffling through music. I don't know why. Like I love what he stood for as like a dude, like the marathon, clothing store, everything else, and you seeing other people like take his legacy and trying to kind of run with it. Like the motherfucker's impact has been insane to see.
Very insane. Yep.
But Lord knows I don't like listening to a lot of his music. I don't know why.
I like a fair bit amount of his songs. Like,
yeah, he's got a lot of bangers.
Yeah, like
Rex in the Middle comes on a lot on my when I'm shuffling.
All right, hold on.
And it's just like it just kind of gets from it.
I'm not gonna let that go.
No, you can't play the music.
I'm not playing it. I'm just gonna tell you a song.
We're about to have a guest again.
Well, If You Were Mine, featuring James Fauntleroy.
I'm already yours, James.
All
Speak to me through song.
James Fauntleroy is the man.
Yeah, but play that song, Kadeen, on your spare time. I think you'll really fuck with that song.
Isn't James Fauntleroy is
and
God damn it. He's Cocaine 80s as well, who did a bunch of shit.
And Hustle in the House.
Is that also James Fauntleroy?
No, that's just Nip. The first thing we're going to talk about is Barcelona versus Bayern, right? 8-2. Bayern beat the shit out of Barcelona. Everything went wrong.
Literally.
First off. Yeah,
all right. So what went wrong? Because I could see what went wrong, but let me see what you saw.
All right. It's the same shit that I've been saying all year, right? You can look at so many different avenues. One, why did the board hire the coach in the first place? Like, what was the point in that?
Did he prepare the team adequately?
No, he was a farmer when we picked him up. Like he was farming.
I mean, farmers are known for their hard work, so.
That's the worst coaching decision I've seen since the Redskins hired Sherm Edwards or whatever the fuck, the bingo caller.
Wait,
yeah.
What? You did what?
During the Jim Zorn era, we hired a guy, Sherman Lewis, I think, who ended up, he was before he got hired to call our plays, He was doing bingo for old people.
You're lying.
No.
Wow.
What? I would lie about that?
How did that work out for you?
Oh, we had one of the worst seasons ever.
It was the Jim Zorn era. Like, you know?
It went from horny to Zorny to we're all flashing. Very, very flashing.
My God.
All right, so like let's just look at the game first, and then I can go to the whole aspect of it. Number one, I knew shit was wrong when we went into the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. We don't run that formation.
I mean, it was obviously a tactical decision to try and counter
a wrong tactical decision. Just based on the first 30 seconds of the match, you can tell the shit was wrong. Bayern beefed up the midfield. They're stronger and more physical than we are, for damn sure. And then he had Messi and Suarez up top by themselves. Well, who the fuck is going to pass in the ball? You have Arturo Vidal at cam. He's not a cam. Like,
you guys didn't have anybody to distribute the ball in the midfield. Plus, that Bayern midfield is stifling.
Right.
And so y'all never had the ball.
At all. And that's not what we do.
I mean, you had the ball. Like, if you look at the possession, it was like 50-50. But you didn't have, like, constructive possession of the ball.
Everything was just wrong. It wasn't Barcelona at all.
It was bad. I didn't expect us to win just based on our form, right? But I expected us to play the way we're supposed to play. If we lose and we keep our philosophy, I can deal with that. Ticky-tack football.
The fact that we changed everything and got destroyed, that's just embarrassing.
Yeah, no, you guys had lost the game. And
he was fired within an hour.
Yeah, you guys lost the game in the first 25 minutes.
We lost the game when we stepped on the pitch with that stupid-ass formation.
After 25 minutes, I was watching. I was like, "There's no coming back from this."
Yeah, like the first goal was nuts, and like I still can't get over Arturo Vidal playing cam and leaving Griezmann on the bench.
Yeah, I mean it was bad all the way around. It was bad from a tactical standpoint. But then if you just watch Messi's body language after,
he's pissed.
Oh yeah, and he
interjected.
He was not going to do anything other than, moments of brilliance. He was not going to go above and beyond.
It's like, what is this bullshit?
Yeah, he was not going to do anything.
I felt bad for Frankie. I felt bad for Frankie de Jong. Like, he was just left there. Like, Sergi Busquets had a shitter of a game.
Do you see what he said after the game?
No, what did he say?
When he did his post-match interview, he's like, I put this all on me. This is my fault. He's like, if they ask people to leave, I will be the first one out the door. I mean, I don't blame him at all. He's still got a couple years of good football left, and if he's going to be on that kind of team, as a world-class footballer, I would leave too.
Ter Stegen kept turning the ball over after every goal kick, and I remember looking at the game and seeing him talk to Sergi Busquets like, "Hey, like do this, do that," and he just kept turning the ball over.
Yeah, no, it was
tactically it was terrible because there was nobody there.
It was the worst performance I've ever seen. Yeah, and Ter Stegen, honestly,
Nelson Semedo should not play another game for Barcelona.
I mean, but if you think
I have never seen any player play that fucking bad in one position.
I mean,
no, that pit. He ruined his whole value as a player.
I mean, one bad game.
No. We've been trying to offload him all year. I think we had a deal in place with City for Cancelo to swap. So our starter for their backup.
So you would have swapped one loser for another loser?
Yeah, that was the whole thing when that came up. People were like,
he was worth at least 3 cotton gins, and now he's like half the one. Shut up. Most.
This ain't the time. This ain't the time.
If we're being honest, Barca is now in rebuild mode.
Well, the thing is, we have a shit ton of pieces, right? We just need the coach to come in and put them in the right position,
right?
Like how Pep did.
But what the coach is going to do is he's going to want to put his pieces in, which means you guys are in rebuild
But
mode.
if you have like young potential stars, like for instance Ansu Fati and Puig, Ricky Puig. Like, and then you still have Frankie De Jong, who's still young as hell.
Yeah, you guys fielded the oldest team, I think.
Yeah, we're average of 30.
30, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, because Suarez is 33. PK is 33. Messi's 33. Like,
Well, I mean,
those three should go.
Bayern's not. I mean, Bayern Munich's not a young team either.
Yeah, but they're quality.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, they were.
And Thiago's about to leave.
They were ruthless.
I want Thiago back. I never wanted Thiago to go.
How angry were you when Coutinho came on and just?
I wasn't angry at all.
Put the hammer down.
I was not angry at all. I was happy for him. And at that point in time, you know, sometimes you get your ass whipped, right? And I don't get angry over that shit anymore. Like, I used to be pissed off. But if this is, like, I look at it like this. This should be the catalyst for change.
Yeah.
I've been saying all year how the board is terrible. They're trash. Like, they fucked up so many different things. They should not be, like, you should not be describing your executive team as like a Game of Thrones type atmosphere. That should not be the descriptor of your corporation. That's stupid.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's trust me. I've been on many. I've had many teams where it's just all internal conflict all the time. The Washington football team, Arsenal, the Mets, like, and you can.
It
see
should
that,
not be for Barcelona though.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not talking about like superb winning teams. These were all when they were at their worst. So what you need is a regime change. I don't know if it'll come this year or if they'll Washington football team it up and it'll come,
the elections are coming up soon. And
I mean, maybe that's what y'all need.
Yeah, but
there's elections?
Yeah.
For the
elections
board.
for the board.
Oh.
But
like,
PK should just be the president. PK needs to retire and become the president.
But someone has to elect him to that position.
We got to do something.
I'm saying, yeah.
We got to do something.
There is a lot to be done there. Trust me, I've been there against Bayern. It was 2 legs, not 1. But, you know, I still know how it feels.
I mean, we'll
see what happens in the offseason.
Like, Lenglet looked like he couldn't mark a damn soul. Like,
I mean, you guys came up against a juggernaut.
Yeah, but we're a juggernaut too.
I get it.
And the ego is gone. Like,
you guys didn't play like
Bayern stripped the whole ego of Barca. Like, they stripped that ego.
Yeah, I mean, y'all didn't play like you were there to win.
Yeah.
From the first minute, you guys looked on the
Agreed.
back foot, and it went that way the whole game.
I think that came about when the team saw the formation.
No,
like, if you play one way all year, and then you come, it's the same thing that don't do nothing. Don't say nothing, Kadeem. It's the same thing that happened in Super Bowl when we switched the whole offensive playbook the week of the Super Bowl, and John Gruden already knew all the plays anyway, so we just fucked up. Like, we got destroyed.
I mean,
that shit was bad.
That's part of it, but I think the other part is when you start off that poorly. I mean, it
was 1-1, but it was 1-1.
Right, but you guys were on the back foot, and it was an own goal. So it was really a 0-1.
But if Alaba didn't touch it, Suarez is going to put that in the back of the net.
Right.
Anyway,
but you guys looked on the back foot the entire game. That was just –
and that never
almost
happens.
A fluke goal. Exactly. So when it happens, the whole team's like, what do we do now? We're not used to playing like this, and they just didn't recover. So, oh, well. Hey, look,
it was bad.
You still got much farther than Arsenal did.
Did Busquets really say that he would be the first to go?
He would be the first to offer to leave.
I respect that. I love the way he plays, but when he's off, the whole team is just bad.
Yeah.
Like, Messi could have an off game, but if Sergi's having a great game, we still have a chance. If Sergi's having a bad game, it's over. Nelson Semedo needs to go. He should just stay in Lisbon. I think that's where he was born. He should just stay there. Don't come back to Barcelona.
He's from Portugal, so. All right, moving on.
Yeah. Another game happened today. Man City versus Lyon.
I didn't get to watch any of it, but
me neither.
It seemed that.
Of course you didn't.
It seemed that Man City got destroyed.
Waxed 3-1.
But it seemed like that they just made a lot of mistakes from what I was reading.
Same here. So Lyon and PSG are.
But that's your
advanced.
boy. That's Pep. I mean, I think
This is nuts, man.
It's almost like a changing of the guard, you know?
Yeah. And
Bayern's obviously still at the top, but you got PSG's out, Man City's out, Barca's out. I like that
Juve's
Lyon's
out.
in there. I like that Lyon's in there.
Yeah.
It's fun football to watch when it's not, the same, 5 or 6 teams in the quarters every year. So
yeah, I mean, I just enjoy good football at this moment because Barca's not doing shit,
Yeah.
and I just don't see until they change the board and everything like that. I don't see.
Are you talking about Barcelona again? Are we on a new topic?
It's the same thing.
It's not. He just went back to talk about what he wants to
It's
talk
the
about
same.
again.
It's the same
Well, I thought we were talking
thing.
Manchester
We're
City.
still.
I know enough
Yeah.
about soccer. It's something different, right?
Yeah, Man City got their ass whooped. Whoop they do.
So is that common thread?
But
Are we talking about teams that got asses kicked?
Man City also lost to Arsenal, and Arsenal's not a great team.
Yeah, but they didn't lose. They didn't lose by 6. We lost by 6.
But you guys played to lose by 6. Man City played to lose to Lyon, which is
I didn't watch the game, so I can't even really.
Man City is a much better team than Lyon is. That's the difference.
Fair enough.
Right now, Barcelona is not as good of a team as Bayern.
Or City, or Lyon.
Yeah.
And neither as good as Liverpool.
I mean, you said it yourself. You're
Liverpool's at home.
You didn't
With
even
us.
know.
I know. Because
We're coming to visit you.
We're chilling at home because we realize in a world of COVID, it's just not needed to be playing those games like that.
Whatever.
But you said it yourself. You didn't even want to play Napoli. You didn't think you were going to get past them. You did.
I didn't.
And
you know why? Because our form is shit, and Bayern exposed it.
Hey, and maybe what you need is
happen.
you guys probably just need to get kicked in the teeth, which you did by losing the league and losing in Champions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Sucks you guys have a month to figure it out.
Yeah, that's the only part. That's the only part that's terrible. Nice.
Yeah, you guys, your next season starts in September, right?
Yep, and I want Xavi to coach the squad, but
there's no time. Usually you'd have 4 months.
But Xavi knows.
I'm saying it's going to be very difficult to make massive changes.
There has to be some sort of change because Sethian's gone. A coach has to come in.
Yeah.
We can't be a coachless team.
Just make it messy.
You could. But look, you ever notice when watching these videos every once in a while when you're looking at the title cards, you can tell the person that edits the title cards has no fucking idea what's happening, so it just says soccer talk.
Yeah.
That's what the beginning of this episode is going to be because I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. I
cool.
thought we switched topics when we're talking about the other thing.
But then what happens when I show you like the list?
Soccer talk. Anyway, we're moving on.
I can't read your handwriting. It's usually you and Ryan's handwriting,
but you
like
can
fucking
tell me.
Sanskrit.
But
like it's me trying to cross-reference and
you
trying
can
to figure
say
out
like,
which.
hey, I don't understand your writing, and I'll type it.
Because I get most of it, because I understand most of it. Like the only reason most of the episodes of Talk About Soccer is just Ryan writes down on the timesheet UCL. I'm like, all right, cool. Then I'm like, I'm hoping there's not 2 back-to-back soccer talks because I don't know when the topic changes.
Topic changing now. Come on.
Yeah. Another game that happened today was the Grizzly versus Blazers.
Woo! American sports. Let's go.
Yeah,
right.
Like American sports the rest of the way. So now you're involved.
I only watched the first half, but it looked like it wasn't even the Dame Lillard show. It was just CJ McCollum balling out. And
They both did.
Who's the guy who lost his grandmother?
Nurkic.
He had, 17 boards and 15 points? Or
no, he had 20 and 20.
20 by the end of the game. But the first half, he had 17 boards.
Yeah.
And he played his ass off.
Yeah, he did.
He played his ass off, but everybody was playing for him. Like even the post game, they talked to CJ and Dame about just what it is that he was going through, and they were like, "Look, we need to make sure we were playing hard for him because we knew how hard he was playing for us with everything that was going on with his family. So it's like not to let the dude down." Then they cracked a few jokes, which sounded really, really funny. But
wait, isn't CJ McCollum playing with a broken back?
Yeah.
Yes, which was the funny joke at the press conference when Dame looks at him like, "My back My neck, my back, my neck and my back. It's just like
you can see the chemistry between them, which is hilarious.
it's
Yeah,
great.
dude,
It's
that's
great.
great.
It's those two dudes. I hope I just want them to get more talent behind them because them two alone is not usually enough. I mean, maybe they beat Lakers and then the whole fucking NBA just gets lit on fire. But
Game
what?
time.
Oh, damn time. Well, and that was the thing. It was like it was the it's a perfect cap to a perfect week as far as Dame news when it comes to everything that's been happening with Skip Bayless and with those two jackasses that were making fun of him as far as free throws.
Yep.
He played. I mean, overall, like
Good
I would
transition.
say, what
Good transition.
transition to what? We're just talking about all of it, aren't we?
Well,
I
I mean, now
You never sent us the list, so
I did.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't, but that was good
Okay.
because I definitely want to get into how Skip is delusional and how I think that he's using that shit just to like he's making no sense whatsoever.
Well,
I think
backstory. Give backstory.
with Skip just saying all this stupid shit about Dame Lillard just to sell or whatever to get viewers.
I have no idea what he
Yeah,
said
he-
because
yeah,
I don't
he-
listen to
he's-
Skip.
He was saying how Dame isn't a superstar and how he's not clutch. And the game that he had 61 on us that I saw that I sat front row. To see that?
Virtually,
It was cool.
virtual front row.
Yeah, virtual front row. Shout out Joseph. I'm sitting up there watching Dame drop 61, and then the next time Skip is like, well, he missed like a clutch free throw, and I haven't seen him be clutch. Like Jordan was clutch, and then Shannon Sharp is like, well, wait, what happened to Jordan the first couple years when he was in the league? And then Skip was like, well, when he got swept or whatever the fuck happened. He's like, oh yeah, well, he's just learning how to win. And then Shannon's like, well, what the fuck is Dame doing right now then?
Yeah, like
He-
Dame has
he's
been clutch
making no sense.
already so many times.
Yeah, he's making no sense, and he's continuously bringing up like all the faults of Dame's game. If he goes 17 for 18, he'll be like, well, he only had 8 points in the fourth quarter when he was averaging 14 throughout the game, so he dropped off. Or he was good for 46 minutes, but not the full 48.
Yeah,
And I'm
you can always find something to criticize, but the overall game that Dame Lillard is playing right now
Exactly.
is absurd.
He's only saying that shit just so that people can go like to see what the hell he's gonna say this time. Like the
you're
ratings.
saying
I mean,
he's doing it for.
It's making no sense.
For
Well,
viewers?
Skip is Skip for the most part. I think that he's found a better spot with Shannon than he was when he was with Stephen A. Smith, which was just being contrarian for the sake of being contrarian.
I feel that's what he is now.
No, I feel like he's getting back in that groove. I feel like we haven't been talking about Skip and being problematic in a little while. It might just be because there's not a lot of sports. There's not a whole lot of hot takes you can have. Because, I mean, for the most part, he's been down with everybody that's been doing any of the Black Lives Matters or the protesting or anything else. Skip has kind of stayed in his lane.
Yeah.
And this and that and the other. So I'm just maybe because there's no sports happening, he hasn't been able to have any hot takes that we have to criticize.
Not like Skip. The two people Skip hates on is number one, LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
He hates on LeBron for everything.
But he doesn't hate. But he didn't hate on LeBron as far as the Black Lives Matter or any of that shit.
No.
Which,
Yeah,
that's
agree.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
But anything.
We're talking about.
We're only talking about basketball.
Game, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Like in terms of just basketball, anything LeBron does, he hates. And then like he's getting that same bag with Dame Lillard for no reason.
It doesn't make any sense because if he's
and then they talk like
he's a football commentator.
It was the phone call.
Yeah, we're skipping.
You heard about the phone call, Ryan?
No.
So what ended up happening was that Dame realized that Skip is just talking sideways out of his mouth about him for a minute. So what Dame does is that he gets word through to Skip, like, I need to talk to Skip. So Skip calls Dame or gets the phone number, whatever. They get into contact with each other. And Dame sends him a text and starts going the fuck off on him. Like, yo, why are you saying all this shit? Why are you doing this, that, and the other? And basically, according to Dame, Skip's on the phone basically backtracking like everything. He's saying how he's been stressed out because of COVID and how with the lack of sports that's been happening, that he wasn't entirely sure if they were going to even have a show, if Fox Sports was going to be able to
and
pay
he was
them.
depressed.
He was depressed, this, that, and the other.
So
Dame,
that gives you the right to talk shit about somebody?
For no reason.
And what ended up happening was that I think that was right before the other game where then Skip came back with even more vitriol and shit to say.
Yeah.
James just let it all go. He was basically like, fuck you, fuck off, fuck all this shit. Just went the fuck off on him. And
he called him a clown because he is.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of – I mean, I go back and forth with my love-hate with Skip. I mean, I don't necessarily know if I ever love him, but it's like there's sometimes where he doesn't bug me. I still think the show he has now is a lot better than what he was doing with Stephen A. Smith first.
Fair enough.
I didn't like that show at all
because Stephen A. and him, they were just playing caricatures of themselves. It
wasn't fun to watch.
It's like you could tell that they didn't. You look at me like I don't honestly believe you believe this even. Like it's arguing for the sake of arguing. I don't think he does that with Shannon because I think a lot of times they end up being on the same side of certain things.
I feel like with Dame, that's where Skip is right now.
Yeah, it's especially where Skip is right now as far
as he's
arguing
just to argue.
If you're supposed to be commenting on sports or like the state of play or like the state of how a player is playing, at least be honest about where your side's coming from. Like if I watch Highly Questionable, I love Dan Le Batard. I watch that because the show is funny. I don't watch it to get my sports news.
Right.
I want my sports news. I usually watch the 12 o'clock Sports Center or the late night Sports Center because I'm actually getting facts. I'm getting facts, and sometimes there's comedy in there, but it's mostly I'm getting the sports facts. I also want that from shows like this or shows where people are talking on two sides. They could agree, but usually they have two different opinions. What he's doing is not an opinion. It's just fake. It's false. Fake news. Like he's finding small facts where if you look at the body of work that Dame has right now, it's just wrong. Like Dame missed a free throw. Everybody misses a free throw. Like that can't be the reason that you're saying that he's trash or that he's fallen off, during the playoffs. He just got his team into the playoffs against a very, very, very good Memphis Grizzlies team who actually pushed them almost to the end of the game.
Yeah, and Dame is going to be Dame was named MVP. So now this is the last time I'm going to look at the quote unquote YouTube video of like the reaction to this because I want to see what he says tomorrow or Monday in regards to it. Like,
he already started on Twitter.
Oh, he did?
Skip did?
He's already started on Twitter. He was talking about how I forget what's his name was like. He's already making the case that he's the best clutch shooter on the team. He's gonna basically what you're gonna see.
McCollum?
It wasn't CJ McCollum. It was another dude. But he was basically what you're gonna see in the lineup tomorrow is that he's gonna be bigging up CJ McCollum and saying how Dame didn't have this great of a game or this, that, and the other, and he's gonna basically come out and say he's got to prove it against the Lakers. What I want to see is Skip Bayless's head explode when he's trying to pick between Dame Lillard and LeBron James in this fucking series coming up. But like that to me is going to be something. The one thing I'll say about Dame,
Gabriel is pretty clutch.
The one thing I'll say about Dame that I've started to realize over conversations I've had with people over the last week, I didn't realize how polarizing a figure Dame Lillard kind of is. Like I've had a lot of conversations with people that say that like Dame has always been, at least the last few years, my top 3 favorite guys to watch play. And a lot of people are like, what do you mean? And I'm like, he's emotional, but when he gets emotional, he plays better. He's not like the Russ Westbrook where if he gets emotional, his shot selection goes completely off the fucking charts. And he's just trash most of the time.
Dame did score one from the NBA logo.
But that's when you piss Dame off, he plays with that chip. Like it's kind of like the reason another top 3 guys, my favorite guys to watch is Jimmy Butler. Don't piss him off.
And
don't piss him off.
We'll be seeing him Monday. How am I going to work on Monday?
You're not.
How am I supposed to get anything done?
Thank God I'm going to be working from home for the next 2 weeks. Good Lord.
I'm not going to be
watching. The game started at 1:30 all the way until like 11. That's crazy.
I was kind of hoping I had to self-quarantine for the next 2 weeks because I got hockey, I got basketball, I got baseball all day, every day. Now I'm going to have to do that in the office and look like a jackass.
I will say Dame to me right now, I'm not going to talk about pure play style because it's different, but as far as just the way that they became sort of a polarizing figure, the way that they play when they're emotional, I think I'm realizing why he's one of my favorite players to watch. He reminds me of Allen Iverson.
Okay.
He's really reminding me of Iverson. And I hope his career doesn't end like Iverson. in the sense of like just wasting away on a team that's not going to be able to win a championship. But I think he's also, you have that mentality you have with a guy like Dame, which is like, I'm not taking the easy route. I'm not going anywhere to just go get me a chip. I'm staying here.
That's how it all started.
I ain't running around.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you boys is chumps.
Yeah. You got to
But as a Dame fan, I kind of want you to run around, dog. Like, I need you to go somewhere else. Like,
I want to put the Mavs.
Or you want everybody on your team.
I knew that was coming.
This is the least hot take. This is the coldest take of the day.
I mean,
what was that? A grade school shrugging shit.
Yeah. I actually want him to stay on the Blazers and then have them put pieces around him to win. I mean, if you can win on a team where one of your big guys is Carmelo Anthony, this Carmelo Anthony, 2020 Carmelo Anthony.
But Melo's not bad. That's
right. He's not terrible, but you're telling me
he's not bad. Don't put terrible. Don't use that adjective so you got to walk it back. He's not bad.
He's not bad at all.
But there are so many better players that they can put in place to help Dame win. Carmelo did not have a good game today. And he's wearing double zeros. Like, that's
you need a big dude. You need a Joel Embiid or fucking like Anthony Davis or somebody crazy fucking one of the big two in there with him and CJ to just start rocking.
Well, isn't Anthony Davis a free agent?
That's where I'm kind of lining up. Like, if you had him over there, look, you could have Portland and the Clippers kind of being the one too. Like, punch in the West. Like, and there are other teams that are still kind of making it up. Like, there are teams that are on the up. I love seeing what's happening in the NBA overall. With a lot of these teams are just.
If you look at the West,
going great.
The West is.
It's looking insane.
I mean, it's always
the West is going. Yeah, because the West is being the West again.
Yeah.
It's going to be great teams that don't make the playoffs.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
it's good for basketball.
It gives the Miami Heats an opportunity to go ball out in the playoffs.
Then don't you think at some point they're going to go back to the same old conversation about, well, if you got 50-win teams in the West not making the playoffs, and then you got 30-win teams in the East making the playoffs, shouldn't it just be the top teams in both conferences play each other?
I think the reason that it works well is because it also allows the smaller market East Coast teams to potentially pick up a big player who wants to make the playoffs.
Well, a lot of the teams that are trash, if you think about it, are big market teams in the East. The first team I think about is the Knicks,
or even a big market team. Yeah, but that's
I would think
that's how you get the people who are on the Nets are rebuilding around. Obviously,
the Nets are going to come, or the Nets are going to be something special next year.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's not going anywhere. They're going to still be there. New Orleans is not going anywhere. They're going to get better. I still like what the Heat are. The 76ers is still the 76ers. The Celtics is still the Celtics. It's not the biggest disparity.
The Sixers are not good.
Yeah, and they keep getting hurt.
They're going to have to break up the team at some point or get a new coach.
They're probably going to get a new coach. They're going to try to add some more talent behind it because I don't see them they're not going to wholesale just break up Simmons and Embiid just yet.
In talking about coaching changes, today Alvin Gentry just got fired from the Pelicans. Yeah. Now, I kind of started to equate this shit to the same thing that happened to Mark Jackson. A little bit.
Sorry, all right. I did not hear background on the Gentry thing. So how do you equate it to Mark Jackson?
Well, all right. So you saw what he was doing with the Pelicans, right? He built that team into like a playoff contending team. Playoff contending, like to get into the playoffs.
Zion
they were in the bubble.
Yeah, they had a
Zion wasn't there for half the.
I'm joking.
Okay. So he gets them on the cusp of making the playoffs where they need to add a couple pieces or whatever, and then they're going to be a playoff team. Correct?
I stand corrected. It wasn't Zion that built. It's Anthony Davis built that team into a.
Fair enough. I'm not even mad at that one because without him, they wouldn't have Brandon.
They didn't have the trade. There's nothing happened. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like.
But so Alvin Gentry gets them to the point where they're about to make the playoffs, but then he gets fired. Like you think of Mark Jackson, they didn't win anything with him, and then as soon as they brought in Steve Kerr, like championships.
Yeah, but The Pelicans were 30-42. That's not good.
Yeah, they didn't have their biggest piece on the team for most, if not all, of those games.
There might be a chance that
Zion played 20 games before the bubble.
Maybe Zion doesn't like him. Who knows? I thought you were going to go with like he hated gay people or some shit, and Gentry was.
Nah, I wasn't going to do that. I
didn't know if there were rumors that we talked about.
No. I'm only talking about in terms of a coach getting him to like a coach that people don't view as being like a bad coach, getting them to a point where they're about to get to that next level. Like I see the Pelicans go on the rise.
Agreed. Which is why the next coach needs to be LeVar Ball.
Shut up. But then you get the team like the Sixers. I don't see them on the rise.
I think this was just a down year for the Sixers, but
we've been saying that for the past couple of years.
That's not true. They were contenders.
People have been asking like, can their superstars coexist? Right? Because you got Embiid out there. You got Embiid out there shooting threes, and Ben Simmons can't shoot threes, so he just goes into the paint. And then if Embiid does what he does, like what he's supposed to do, which is bully everybody in the paint, he's clogging the paint. So now Ben Simmons has to be a jump shooter, and he can't shoot.
Well,
like if you take a three as an NBA player and you make it, and everybody like wants to stop the game to celebrate, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like he made a three, and everybody like it was like they won the finals.
But here's the thing: he had to go from not shooting any threes to now he's shot a three. It's baby steps.
Point guard, if you are a point
guard,
baby
steps.
If you are a point guard in the NBA, you should be able to shoot a three.
He's getting there.
If you are a point guard and an all-star in the NBA, you should be able to shoot a three.
Because the rest of his game is so insane.
If it was so insane, they would have gone further than what they've gone.
I mean, but they've also been plagued by injuries every single year.
And
same reason. Wait, okay. So Zion was injured, which is why he was out. Mm-hmm. So we're not knocking Zion's game or the rest of the Pelicans' game.
I'm not knocking his game. I'm talking about in terms of the way that those two play. They don't mesh well.
Yeah, but they were looking good in the Eastern playoffs a season ago.
East.
So what? That's who they're playing. That's just what it is. So I'm just saying.
That's who Zion's playing.
Not to mention them losing, even though he didn't gel completely well with the team, them losing Jimmy Butler is a deal.
Now let's talk about why they lost Jimmy Butler. Do you remember where? Did we even talk about the JJ Redick podcast?
I was just talking to my friend about the JJ Redick podcast and the Jimmy Butler episode.
All right. So on that episode, JJ Redick asked him about his departure from Philly, right? Yeah. And there was an infamous meeting where Brett Brown is sitting there going over the previous game, like he's putting at clips, not saying a fucking word.
Yep.
And then he just ends it. All right, let's go practice.
And Jeremy's like, what the fuck was this?
What the fuck is this? Like, how are we supposed to get better?
I'm never coming to another one of these again. Yeah.
You're not saying shit. And then it's kind of like, so that's another reason why I don't see the Sixers on the rise. Something needs to change.
That's what I'm saying. I think it'll end up having to be a leadership thing before they break up that tandem.
Yeah, they'd have to have a coach.
Yeah, I mean, if they change the coach, then you'll give the new coach an opportunity to see what he can do with those two.
Yeah, I mean, I just want that talent. Yeah, I think you can scheme something up for that talent.
Yeah, but I agree, but you need
too much talent. There's shooters. Agreed, which is why you had the JJ Redicks and things like that. You need shooters.
And then they let him go to the Pelicans.
But that's what I'm saying, is that after my man trusts the process and then they run his ass up out of there before he got a chance to get in the payoffs to trust the process, it was – I look at Philadelphia, I'm saying that you have all these different ideals and there's no –
and they have faults.
There's no through line for Philadelphia.
Who looks like he can shoot again, which is good.
Yeah. So then if you think about that, it's like, well, did they fuck up Ben Simmons' shot too?
Thank you. So I'm saying there's too much talent in Philadelphia for them to be where they're at, and there needs to be something to change. But look, we kind of got sidebarred when it comes to Philadelphia. Overall, I love where the NBA's headed. The bubble NBA has been amazing. I was wrong as far as that. It's been great. It's been awesome, and I cannot wait for Dame and CJ to go up against the Lakers. It's going to be that. Look, Dame might get fucking swept. Who knows?
I want all of them to be upsets. I want every matchup to be an upset.
I want the Clippers to get through.
No.
Yeah, that would pave the way
for
Ty Lue to be the head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans.
Well, the Nets have an opening as well.
If I'm Ty Lue, I want Zion.
Well, we need to talk to KD to see who he wants to be a coach.
Yeah, it's
probably Ty Lue.
KD's signing on that dotted line.
Yeah, for Ty Lue. Or Jason Kidd. Who knows?
That's possible too. Is Jason out of coaching right now, or is he?
No, he's coaching.
Where is he?
I thought he was with the Lakers.
Yeah, he's that was the second guy that's been.
He's an assistant for the Lakers.
Yeah, that was the shady deal where
he's undermining everything.
Frank Vogel was offered the job, but they said that Jason Kidd needed to be like the second guy, like so they put somebody on his staff, which was
be a snitch and to eventually take over.
Yeah, if Frank Vogel fucked up, they were just gonna put Jason Kidd in.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of shady shit, but whatever. Speaking of shady shit, we're gonna transition into NFL news.
They call him Slim Shady. He's back. He's back. They call him. Sorry, go.
Okay. We're gonna talk about Kemah Siverand.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Kemah Siverand.
Yes.
You know who that is?
That is my.
Yeah, he's this homeless dude in Seattle in the corner.
I'm pretty sure that was like my neighbor in
Close.
college.
Close. He was in Seattle.
Oh, Supersonics.
He was a cornerback.
Oh.
For the Seattle Seahawks.
I know that's
the joke. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. I mean, there was a lot of layers to that one, and I was like, all right, maybe you got real lucky, or you knew exactly what I was talking about.
I know what we're talking about. Yeah.
It's
been my favorite sports story of the week.
Oh, really? Then please.
You know what? And go ahead. And then I have a question after.
Well, here's the thing. So I've been hearing a lot of mixed things about it today. So I'm not entirely sure if I'm completely in the loop on what happens anymore. But my understanding, as NFL teams are trying to get situated as far as a world with COVID and doing training camps and all kinds of stuff, they're being very strict as far as like hotel stays and making sure that people are staying as quarantined as they possibly can be or limiting the access. So they have rules that like if you in the team hotel, you're not allowed to just bring anybody there. It's supposed to be like, I think, like really close family, like immediate family or what have you that you're allowed to have access to, if that at times. So Kamar, whatever the fuck his name is, everybody's going to forget about Amar. He is a rookie cornerback for Seattle. Dude on the bubble, like, you know how – so this is what you got to kind of – I'm going to try to walk through this other aspect of it. Right now, as a rookie in the NFL, in a world of COVID with no preseason games, you need to work so goddamn hard to make a team.
And you still not make
enough. There's not – you're going to be some legitimate stars that are not going to make teams because there's not going to be enough time to take a look at you guys. So at this particular point in time, you need to make sure you are on your absolute best behavior and working as hard as you possibly can. So cornerback out of Seattle, a guy who's apparently been working really, really hard, decides that one night he's just a little lonely. So what he ends up doing is inviting some IG model to the hotel. Now, what I heard today was that he tried to dress her up like a football player.
It's a football player. I heard that too.
No, I heard that too. Yeah. All right. He put her in Seahawks gear.
Put her in Seahawks gear and tries to shuffle her up on, which is why I've been seeing nothing but the Scary Movie clip where what's his name tries to put her in football uniform. Everything.
If you can edit that in to this,
I have copyright. I don't know, but I'll try.
Pull it on. Come on. I like that look. Ooh,
I'm bad.
Yes. Here, put this on with it. Go on, girl, put it on.
But it's like
1 second of it.
But I mean, what I say is that, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know why men overall the stupider. Oh wow, I just made up a word stupider, which even proves it. Or the more stupid of the two sexes. It's because almost every decision is based not by this head, but the head down there. And you got a guy who could have had everything, and he let it go for one night.
His signing bonus was $2,000, so and he was undrafted, so he probably wasn't.
Could have had it all: the shot, the dream, the want to work, and the desire to do it. You threw it all away.
Yep,
you threw it all
and
away.
I don't even think she made it in. So
the most powerful thing in the world.
Yep, the power of WAP.
Always going to be
WAP.
WAP.
Oh yeah. And then
now I have a question though.
Yeah.
So when this story broke, I was playing Warzone with some friends, and in my head, my mind started thinking about some weird shit. So I have a question. Let's say you were that rookie, right? But that IG model wasn't an IG model; it was Rihanna. Would you have tried?
No.
Would you have tried to sneak her in?
Yes.
Hold on. No, hang on. Whoa. See, I'd have to know what is me and Rihanna's relationship like.
Why are you making a situation up?
That's what I do.
Like,
but is
literally most.
Just answer the question, would you?
99% of people, men, who would say yes. Like, that's ridiculous.
Well, you said yes. He said no.
Wait, you're saying that I'm a rookie that has a very small shot of making the big time, but I have an opportunity right now.
And it's your dream.
To sleep with Rihanna.
Yep, it's your dream.
I have two dreams. One of them I get guaranteed fulfilled tonight. The other one was a long shot anyway. Easy yes.
All right, Cutty.
Well, I'm in a loving relationship, number one. But even if I wasn't, there's a matter of, is this going to be a one night? All right, listen.
If it's an opportunity for a relationship, you would say yes.
If there's an opportunity for me to get into a relationship with Rihanna,
I can't listen to that bullshit.
Then yeah, I'm all in. But if
I can't listen to it.
But here's the thing: if you're talking about my black ass gets one night in a hotel on my rookie year being in the NFL, and I come back and tell you guys, I banged Rihanna last night. Is anybody even gonna believe me? I got no bragging.
Let's say you have proof.
Pro sports careers anyway. I've seen her do it.
You'll have proof. I'll add that in. You'll have proof.
This is such a waste of time.
That did that.
It's got to be the blackmail Rihanna.
Wow.
That's worth more than a
I want to pay that.
Yeah, that's worth more than a rookie deal. Like, get out of here.
That shit was funny. All right. But you see why that situation was funny?
No, but he's a 20-year-old kid who's been stuck quarantined. He's trying to get some pussy. Leave the kid alone. Fuck.
Everybody's leaving that kid alone. He's home, kicking himself over there because that chick ain't touching him even right now.
Yeah.
Well,
broke boy. I thought you were an NFL player. Broke boy.
That's tough. That is tough. That hurts.
Hey, he's gonna
I feel bad for him though.
He's gonna get some.
It was a dumb decision, but
he's gonna get some television spots and stuff, some interviews. Like,
I don't think so.
He'll be back on.
It'll be local TV stations, or he don't get paid for nothing.
He'll be back on a roster.
The chick that got invited over will be on the Joe Budden podcast next week. That's the furthest this thing goes.
I hope they give that kid another shot. So bad.
It would be hilarious to hear the questions that Joe will come up with. All right.
So do you think he was a star? Do you watch football?
What position does he play?
Should we get a mop and a bucket? Is that what you were coming there for, my dear?
All right. So moving to different NFL news. Some tight end deals came out today, or this week. Kittle and Kelsey both got paid.
They both got paid about the same, right?
I think.
Hold on.
I don't think so. I think Kittle got a little bit more.
Kittle got 5 years, 75, and I'm pretty sure Kelsey got 5 years, 70.
Okay. Yeah, so Kittle got a little bit more.
Sounds about right. Age.
How the fuck is Kansas City doing this? Where are they getting this money from?
The Patrick Mahomes contract, I'm not sure what the salary cap implications are each year.
I think it starts. I think his salary cap starts. I mean, the new deal starts in like 2 years.
Okay, so they still have space, and then on top of the fact that they still have space,
No, they had like what $6 or something like that
it's
earlier.
the same thing. It's the same thing the Washington football team used to do. Is that everybody would try to figure out, well, how do you sign Albert Hansworth? How do you sign an Adam Archuleta? I'm now getting depressed and realizing how much money we spent on these funds.
Oh, sorry.
But
4 years, 57, 28 guaranteed.
For Kelsey.
Yeah, so that's average of 15 mil a year.
And we're talking about the averages, but the same thing that the Skins used to do was you know how to backload the contracts or put certain things in the signing bonuses that allow you to kind of skirt away with doing things with salary.
No signing bonus because it was an extension.
See, so there's so many ways in which you can do the contracts and stuff. It's all about, like, you can re-sign. If you really want to re-sign a player, you can do it. It's about whether or not it's bringing on the new talent that ends up being the biggest issue as far as trying to figure out the salary cap.
That's what, yeah, they kept restructuring Brady's contract so he would make less, but so they could bring in additional talent because he's a true winner.
Well, now we got to deal with KC for forever.
That team is so good. It would be
Yeah.
so dumb to break it up.
Yep.
The only thing that's going to break that up is domestic violence.
Tyreek Hill.
Understand?
I don't know.
It was
So,
innocent.
okay. Other football news. This was pretty big this week. A bunch of schools or a bunch of conferences came out in college football saying that there was going to be no fall football, right? And then the NCAA said that they aren't going to have championships in the fall.
Yep.
So one thing I heard –
the ACC said that there's no way that they can go forward.
Yeah. And the one thing that I heard was this could be the springboard for the Power Five or whatever they're called to leave the NCAA and do their own thing. So
it could be if they're all on the same page, but I don't know if they're going to be on the same page as far as this goes. Because
I think they are. I think they've been complaining about the NCAA like collectively, like together, like behind closed doors for a long time.
No, I'm not talking about okay. I'm saying that if they're on the same page as far as the COVID situation, then maybe we have something as far as the springboard. But the fact that I don't think that there's a lot of people that get on the same page as far as this right now. Don't get it twisted. Majority of these, the reason you're hearing all these schools are waiting so long or these leagues are waiting so long to cancel their seasons are because it's enough either public backlash they got to a point where they can't do it, or they got enough athletes that are saying, look, we're not going to fucking do this, or what have you. There's top talent like guys like Trevor Lawrence who are basically begging to come back and play, which I will never understand why he's doing that. But
yeah, he's a number one.
He's number one pick, like
regardless of whether he plays or not.
Yeah, I think
he's
like,
just an athlete.
I don't think he's saying these type of things where it's like, hey, we want to play. It's safer for us as people to be in this quote unquote controlled environment rather than being sent back home to like where like we went to high school and everything and being there. I understand that.
Yeah, if kids are going to be doing dumb shit,
yeah,
which is what.
But when you're that age, like you just like dumb shit.
I think that which is where I also think that these, even though they're technically adults, and I think that they do have their own obligation to decide what it is they want to do. I don't think it's in the right look of public safety for you to do these things. But I mean, once again, after just going down to the South last week and realizing I can't really come into contact with anybody I care about until I get tested, not a lot of people are taking it seriously. And you can really see a lot of the areas in which you have some of the schools. It's look at the coach, look at the area, look at the politics, and then you'll see whether or not they're going to do what it is they're doing or not do what they're doing. Which is why, like, to me, any coalition of anybody, which is whether it's all like those big five conferences getting together, what I love to see anybody kind of get together and do better than the NCAA is doing. Yeah, as long as you're paying the athletes. But I don't see anybody really getting on the same page enough to do anything right now, just because it's so
XFL.
Well, that'd be the thing, and I haven't heard any plans as far as The Rock or anything. Like, if The Rock was going to do, did we ever talk about? We talked about it last week. Yeah, if Dwayne Johnson, I shouldn't call him The Rock because it's like a business thing at this point. if Dwayne was at a level at which I think the XFL was going to launch properly, we would already be hearing a lot of news because the mobilization to get something like that done quickly it can't be a secret thing at that point. Whether or not he's doing some things behind the scenes. Look, there are certain ways. The NBA basically just gave you a blueprint. But it's going to be hard to do something like that on a large scale, especially like college sports with that many teams and that many moving parts.
And that many kids.
Yeah. XFL, if you shut down an area and had like 8 football fields and just said, all right, fuck, we're just going to keep this all in-house, especially we got these guys that aren't these major stars like that, and they're hungry to just get a platform to play. All right, I can see that.
I'm sure that the XFL is one waiting because they bought it for pennies on the dollar. $15 million to The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is not a lot of money. So they can just sit on their hands for a little bit and kind of feel things out, see what's going to work, come up with a plan because they're not in a rush. Like there's going to be no sports potentially, this fall like we'd expect them to be. So he could start the season in fucking November if he wants.
Salute.
COVID.
Another random thing that came up that I just thought about. HBO's The Hard Knocks, I think episode 1 just came out.
It did.
That's a little weird for them still to be able to go through with that, with the situation. Yeah, I just started thinking about that shit just now.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like you would want, as an NFL organization, you want to limit the number of people.
It's 3 people. You get them tested all the time, and
it's only 3 people there.
How much more people do you need other than a cameraman?
I have no idea.
All you need is a cameraman, an assistant to the cameraman, and somebody doing the direction as far as.
Okay, now here's the thing. This year it's 2 teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if there's an outbreak on one team, then you got like the camera crew there. They could bring it to the other.
2 separate camera crews.
They have 2 separate camera crews.
Okay, I have no idea. I don't know.
It wouldn't be one guy jumping back and forth to do all this.
On the same day.
Because like they're in the same building.
That also a lot of times when you see
aren't they in the same building?
They might be. I don't know. But they I haven't watched it yet. I don't know. I don't know what the breakdown
me neither.
Okay. But also if you look at Hard Knocks, what a lot of their camera work is cameras that they set up on the facility itself.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not necessarily anything that so like in the coaches' rooms or in the meeting rooms, there's usually a camera that's on a wall.
Okay, yeah.
And they go based off of that.
Okay.
So I'm saying overall, I don't think adding another person to the mix, as long as you understand and know that they're quarantined. And trust me, I can assume HBO is basically like, all right, which cameraman is okay with not seeing their family for the next how many months?
Most up and coming cameramen.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not even. I wouldn't even put it past.
Okay.
I'd say that this is like the safest thing. I don't think them playing is safe, but I don't think the Hard Knocks aspect itself is creating any additional danger.
Yeah, like it's just a thought that just randomly came up. So yeah, you guys are right. All right, so final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
I can go.
All right, go ahead.
Sports are still stupid. Don't do them.
I wish they wouldn't have done that yesterday.
Unless you're doing what the NBA is doing, and you have the entire infrastructure to get that done. I still don't think it's a good idea. COVID is still here. I see that a lot of people are not taking it seriously as I've been driving up and down the coast, which itself is not something I want to do, but I don't really have a choice right now. Other than that, I mean, Black Lives still matter. I'm hearing that kind of quiet up. And also from the political angle of things, when motherfuckers get the fuck off Kamala Harris's back and realize that she's made mistakes as a prosecutor coming up, but she's definitely changed. And I want to give her and Joe Biden an opportunity to whoop this orange motherfucker's ass in November.
My favorite thing is I have an unnamed white friend who told me that black people love Kamala. And I was like, they're a little on the fence about
We're not a monolith. Thank you very much, Ryan.
Yeah. I was like, he's like, she's got a pristine record. And
Kanye West just bigged her up and said that he was happy that he could run against her.
Good for him. And DaBaby is voting for Kanye. So you know where his vote's
He
going.
came back and said, like, that's not true. I
I'm
was like,
glad.
you did say it.
No, there's so many baby tracks I want to listen to. Now you're telling me I got to remove him from my fucking iPod.
Dude, his deluxe album goes hard.
I haven't heard it.
It's so him and Young Thugger. Woo. Anyway,
all right,
final thoughts. I still love Young Thug. I don't know. I feel like he hasn't been putting out enough music. Probably just hanging out with his family. Good for him. The Capitals, the Washington hockey Capitals, get your heads out of your ass. Down 2-0 to the coach that took us to the Stanley Cup. Please don't embarrass our city.
We look like a shell of ourselves.
Well, not having Backstrom has been very tough.
It's God damn it. It's been aggravating.
He took a dirty hit game one, first period from Anders Lee, and he's been in concussion protocol since. So we might have him back tomorrow, but it's not looking good. Although we've come back down from 2-0 down before. It's not,
The team hasn't looked like this though.
Yeah, we're playing a very physical team. They are we come out flying out of the gates, and you can just see by period 3 that we don't have our legs under us. But down 2-0, just get one game back at a time, boys. Also, NBA Finals start Monday.
Playoff.
I hope you are all still working from home so you can enjoy them all. If you're not, I'm sorry. Stay safe.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
When you brought up Young Thug, I had a random question.
Okay.
Have you ever thought of look back at yourself trying to rap Young Thug's verses in the same type of voice tone that he uses?
Obviously.
Okay.
I don't know who Young Thug is, so okay.
What?
He's very talented rapper.
Yeah, the shit.
Can't get past the name.
Okay.
He's the guy that wore a dress.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know why I don't watch. Listen.
On the cover of one of his albums.
This is the same way I was late as shit to Lil Baby and Da Baby.
Well,
it's okay.
All right.
Young Thug's been out for 10 years. But
yeah.
Whatever.
A minute. All right. So my final thought is Racing Point might be disqualified because Reno has been asking the FIA or the FAA, one of them, whatever it is.
The FAA.
All right, FIA.
FAA is for planes.
See, okay.
We got
I knew
you,
I
buddy.
heard both. I've heard both this week. All right, so the FIA, yeah, I deal with jets, man.
Yeah.
I realize that's why I'm trying to figure out how'd you make the mistake just now. But continue.
Shut up.
Which is what I deal with every day.
Yeah.
FIA.
God damn it!
Letters.
What's the contraption that you take to go places in the air? Cars. Got
it. Okay. The FIA ruled that Racing Point was in violation. So
how?
The brake ducts. I mean, yeah, the brake ducts.
The cooling ducts.
The braking ducts.
Right. So the things that cool the brakes on the cars.
Yeah. So they said that was essentially a copy of Mercedes, right? The car from last year. And Racing Point was saying that rule is only in effect for cars that for the parts that are listed. That the braking duct wasn't listed. So
you're allowed to use somebody.
That's what they're saying. Now, Renault's argument is that in the Japan race, I think it was last year or 2019 or maybe the year before, they got disqualified for that race and they had to change the shit when they had the similar situation. So they're saying if Racing Point had the same type of thing, they should be disqualified. And for every race that they protested, which Renault has been protesting every single race just in case this happened.
Interesting.
Yeah. So.
But was it the same part?
Yeah, they took the joint.
No, I mean for Renault, did they steal?
No, I don't think it was the same exact part. But I think it was the same situation.
I mean, but I'm assuming if there's a list of parts that can and cannot be copied, because how many different ways can you make an air duct for a brake?
I mean, it's different.
Yes, but it's not the same as
But they're saying if the part's not listed, and no, they got the exact part from Mercedes, and it wasn't listed, so then they should just be able to use it. But
I mean,
yeah. So
if there isn't a rule that says you can't do it, give it a shot.
Right.
Gives you a competitive advantage.
Now, I don't know how that's going to go. Because another weird thing is that Renault is actually in business with Mercedes.
Why aren't they
for their
pissed at
engines.
Mercedes?
They're not. See, they're not mad at Mercedes.
But they got their part from Mercedes.
No. Racing Point, Renault, Mercedes.
Right.
Racing
and
Mercedes
gave Racing Point those air ducts.
Right, and they also have business with Renault starting, I think, next year. Now, Racing Point and Renault, those are the two that have friction. They're both saying that they don't have an issue with Mercedes.
I appreciate James using final thoughts to just have another topic.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just going to let it go, but Ryan kept asking questions.
I'm just asking.
See?
All right, well.
If it's legal shit, Ryan's going to be involved.
Yeah, for sure. I'm on the defense.
See? But yeah, all right, so that was it.
All right, y'all.
I don't know how the fuck I'm editing this goddamn piece of shit when Mauricio has the
Yeah, I know.
So it's going to be so hard.
No, it could be fun.
All right, later, assholes.
Later.